Have you ever wondered what everything around you is made of? Your phone, your clothes, the water you drink, the air you breathe, even your own body? They may all look completely different, but they're all made from the same basic building blocks called atoms. Atoms are so incredibly small that you can't see them with your eyes, yet they make up everything in the universe, from tiny grains of sand to giant stars and entire galaxies. But what exactly is an atom? What's inside it? And how do these tiny particles create everything we see around us? Let's find out. What is an atom? An atom is the smallest unit of an element that still has the properties of that element. In simple words, atoms are the basic building blocks of all matter. Everything you can touch, see, or even breathe is made of atoms. Scientists have discovered 118 different elements, such as hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, iron, gold, and uranium. Every material in the universe is made from one or more of these elements. If you lined up 10 million atoms side by side, they would measure only about 1 millimeter, roughly the thickness of a credit card. What is inside an atom? Although atoms are incredibly tiny, they are made up of even smaller particles called subatomic particles. Every atom has two main parts. The nucleus. At the center of the atom is the nucleus, a tiny but extremely dense core. Inside the nucleus are protons, which carry a positive charge. Neutrons, which have no electrical charge. Even though the nucleus is extremely small, it contains more than 99.9% of the atom's mass. Electrons surrounding the nucleus are electrons, tiny particles with a negative charge. You may have seen pictures showing electrons moving around the nucleus like planets around the sun. While this is a useful way to imagine an atom, modern science tells us that electrons don't travel in fixed circular paths. Instead, they exist in regions called electron clouds, where they are most likely to be found. A single proton is about 1,836 times heavier than an electron. That's why almost all of an atom's mass comes from the nucleus. Most of an atom is empty space. Here's one of the most surprising facts in science. More than 99.9% of an atom is empty space. Imagine enlarging an atom until its nucleus is the size of a marble. The nearest electrons would be hundreds of meters away, with almost nothing in between. So why do walls, tables, and your own body feel solid? It's because the electrons in different atoms repel each other through the electromagnetic force, preventing objects from passing through one another. If all the empty space inside every atom in your body were removed, your entire body could become incredibly tiny, small enough to fit into the tip of a needle. It would still have the same mass, but it would be unbelievably dense. What makes one element different from another? Every element is defined by the number of protons in its nucleus. This number is called the atomic number. Hydrogen has 1 proton. Helium has 2 protons. Carbon has 6 protons. Oxygen has 8 protons. Gold has 79 protons. Just by changing the number of protons, you create a completely different element with its own unique properties. Atoms of the same element can sometimes have different numbers of neutrons. These are called isotopes. How do atoms form molecules? Atoms rarely stay alone. They often join together by sharing or exchanging electrons. These connections are called chemical bonds. When atoms bond together, they form molecules. For example, water H2O is made of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Carbon dioxide CO2 is made of 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms. Everything from the air you breathe to the DNA in your cells is made from atoms joined together in different ways. A single drop of water contains more than 100 sextillion water molecules. That's a number so huge it's almost impossible to imagine. Where do atoms come from? First atoms formed shortly after the Big Bang, around 13.8 billion years ago. At first, the universe was mostly hydrogen and helium. Heavier elements like carbon, oxygen, iron, and silicon were created deep inside stars through a process called nuclear fusion. When massive stars exploded as supernova, they scattered these elements across space. Those elements later became part of new stars, planets, and eventually life on Earth. The calcium in your bones, the oxygen you breathe, the iron in your blood, and the gold in jewelry were all created inside ancient stars billions of years ago. In a very real sense, you are made of stardust. Why are atoms important? Without atoms, nothing would exist. Every living organism, every mountain, every ocean, every planet, and every galaxy is built from atoms. By understanding atoms, scientists have developed medicines, computers, smartphones, clean energy technologies, and many other inventions that have transformed our world. Conclusion: Atoms may be incredibly small, but they are the foundation of everything in the universe. Each atom contains a tiny nucleus made of protons and neutrons, surrounded by fast-moving electrons. These atoms join together to form molecules, and those molecules build everything we know, from the smallest living cell to the largest galaxy. The next time you look around, remember that every object you see is made of countless tiny atoms working together in amazing ways. The universe is built from these invisible building blocks, and so are you. If you enjoyed learning about atoms, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments which science topic you'd like to explore next.